Hello everyone, welcome you all to Heat Power Engineering online classes. So in the last session, session number 10, we were discussing about laws of perfect gas. So in today's session, session number 11, we are continuing the same unit, unit 2, laws of perfect gas. So this is session 11. The contents, first one, recall the first session, the previous session we are going to recall, and after that we are going to deal with the general gas equation, related to general gas equation, trying to solve simple problems. Okay, now let us go one by one. Let us recall the previous session with the simple questions. So all of you are ready, I hope. I'll ask questions, you should answer for the questions. Okay students, so now I'll ask the first question. The question is, Boyle's law states that for a given mass of a gas, volume varies inversely with its pressure. When? What is the condition? When? Can you guess the answer? When? Yes, the right answer is when the temperature kept constant. When the temperature is kept constant. So this is the answer. Yes. Now the second question is, for a given mass of a gas, pressure is directly proportional to the temperature when the volume kept constant. This law is, which law it is? For a given mass of a gas, pressure is directly proportional to the temperature when the volume is kept constant. This law is, any guess? Yes, the answer is Gay-Lussac law. The answer is Gay-Lussac law. Okay. Now the third question. According to Charles' law, when pressure is constant, condition is given, but you should find the relation between two variables, other two variables. According to Charles' law, what happens? The answer is, what is the answer? Yes, the answer is V is directly proportional to T, or you can say, yes, V is linearly with the, changes linearly with the temperature. When volume increase, temperature is also going to increase when number of moles and pressure kept constant. Yeah, this is what Charles' law is. So the first question is, mathematically, Joule's law can be written as, mathematically, Joule's law can be written as how? What is the answer? Can you guess the answer? Yes, dE is equal to mc into T2 minus T1. T2 minus T1. So this is the answer for fourth question. Is it okay, students? Yes. Now let us move to the next slide, that is general gas equation of a perfect gas. General gas equation of a perfect gas. So what is this general gas equation and what are the requirements of this gas equation? See, we have already discussed the gas laws. So what is this gas law? So gas laws means we are finding the relation between two variables when other two variables are constant. Is that okay? Is that right? Yes. But in actual practice, what happens? All the three variables which are very important, those three variables are temperature, pressure and volume, change simultaneously. Change simultaneously. This is actual practice. So in order to deal with these practical cases, the Boyle's law and Charles' laws are combined together. So the combination of Charles' law and Boyle's law give us a general gas equation. Is it clear? General gas equation. Why we require this general gas equation? Yes, in the practical condition, the three variables, temperature, pressure and volume changes simultaneously. In order to deal with this practical case, we have to combine Charles law and Boyle's law. So which gives general gas equation. Okay, you know that Boyle's law. What is Boyle's law? Boyle's law is volume is indirectly inversely proportional to pressure when temperature is constant. Is it right? V is proportional to 1 by P for T is equal to constant. Take it as equation number 1. According to Charles law, what Charles law says? Can you tell me? What is Charles law? Yes, Charles law says V is proportional to T for P pressure that is constant, and take it as equation 2. Now to get a general gas equation, what you should do is you have to combine equation number 1 and equation number 2. So now combining equation number 1 and equation number 2, see the equation number 1 and equation number 2, here V is proportional to 1 by P, here V is proportional to T. So in the both the condition V is proportional to 1 by P and T. So I can combine this equation and I write this equation as V is proportional to T by P. Is it that V is directly proportional to T, V is proportional to 1 by P. So both the conditions satisfied here. Yes. Therefore, I cross multiply this equation and I can rewrite this equation as PV is proportional to T. PV is proportional to T. By adding a constant, I can rewrite this equation in the form of equal PV is equal to CT, where C is constant, and this equation is known as general gas equation of a perfect gas. General gas equation of a perfect gas. I repeat, PV is equal to CT, where C is equal to constant. You can rewrite again, you can simplify this equation. You can take this T into left hand side. What happens? Yes, PV divided by T, that is equal to C, that is constant. Yes. So continuing with this general gas equation, see, V is proportional to T by P. We know V is proportional to T, or you can write PV is equal to CT, of course. So we can write this equation. Yes, as I told, PV divided by T, that is equal to constant, and it is a standard equation for general gas equation of a perfect gas. So where C is constant, and see, one note is there. The value of C depends upon the mass and the properties of the gas. It is not like, it is not equal for all the gas. The value of C depends upon what? You should remember this: mass and properties of the gas concerned. The more useful form of general gas equation is P1 V1 divided by T1, that is equal to P2 V2 by T2, that is equal to so on till n number of states. You can write Pn Vn divided by Tn, that is equal to constant, where 1, 2, n, what is this? Number of states. Dear students, please remember this equation. Not only remember, but also you should understand this equation, and this is very useful and informative equation to solve the problems. Okay? Yes. Yeah. Now let us try to solve some problems related to this general gas equation. Okay? So my dear students, get your one notebook, pen and calculator. I'll count to 10. Please take your notebook, calculator and pen. Okay? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 and 0. Okay, fine students, welcome back. I hope you are ready with the notebook, pen and the calculator. Okay, so don't by heart any problem. You have to solve your problem by using your own calculator and notebook. Okay, yes. So write down the problem first. I'll dictate the problem. A gas occupies a volume of 0.1 meter cube at a temperature of 20 degrees centigrade and a pressure of 1.5 bars. Full stop. Find the final temperature of the gas if it is compressed to a pressure of 7.5 bar and occupies a volume of 0.04 meter cube. This is the problem. I'll read the problem once again to understand the problem. A gas occupies a volume, initial volume. A gas already occupied a volume, that is 0.1 meter cube. What is the data here? Yes, it is V1 at a temperature initial condition. How much it is? 20 degrees centigrade. T1 is equal to 20 degrees centigrade. And a pressure of 1.5 bar. Pressure notation. P1 is equal to 1.5 bar. You are right. Find the final temperature of the gas. What you should calculate? What you should find out? T2 is equal to how much? So how? Final temperature. Final temperature means what? State 2. T2 is equal to how much? It is compressed to a pressure P2, final pressure 7.5 bar, compressed, so that the reason pressure is increased and occupies a volume of 0.04 meter cube. Volume decreased because it is compressing P2 and V2. So now write down the data. All of you write down the data. Is given V1 is equal to 0.1 meter cube. Unit is very important, meter cube. T1 is equal to 20 degrees centigrade. And to solve the problems, you should convert from degree centigrade into Kelvin. 20 plus 273, that is equal to 293 Kelvin. Initial pressure P1, that is equal to 1.5 bar. You have to convert from bar to Newton per meter square, that is multiply the value to 10 to the power of 5. 10 to the power of 5. So 1.5 into 10 to the power of 5 Newton per meter square. Always, dear students, remember while solving the problems related to this laws of gases, the value of the unit of T1 should be in Kelvin and unit of P should be in Newton per meter square. But in the problem, they will provide the data in the form of degree centigrade and bar. So you have to convert from degree centigrade to Kelvin by adding 273, and you have to convert the pressure from bar to Newton per meter square, multiplying the value from 10 to the power of 5. Don't forget this. Yes. So now P2 is equal to 7.5 bar. You can convert from bar to Newton per meter square. How? Multiply with 10 to the power of 5, and V2 is equal to, yes, 0.04 meter cube. Is it okay? Now what you should calculate? What you should find out? What are the required data? T2 is equal to how much? The solution part. So let T2 be the final temperature of the gas. Let us consider. Okay. So we know that the general gas equation, it says that T1 V1 by T1, that is equal to P2 V2 by T2. That is equal to what? Yes, that is equal to constant. So now see, you can use this equation. P1 V1 by T1, that is equal to P2 V2 by T2. So here P1 is a known value. V1, of course you know it. T1, yes. P2 is available. V2 is also available, and one unknown data, which is T2. So by using this relation, you can easily calculate the value of T2. You can rearrange this equation. You can cross multiply this. By cross multiplying this, what you can do? P1 V1 T2, that is equal to P2 V2 T1. So T2 is equal to P2 V2 T1 divided by P1 V1. Okay. See, T2 is equal to P2 V2, this one, P2 V2 and T1 divided by P1 T1. How it comes? Just by cross multiplication. So now add all the values, that is equal to P2. He has given 7.5 into 10 to the power of 5. Please don't add the value of pressure in bar. I repeat, don't add the value of pressure in bar. Convert from bar into Newton per meter square. How? Multiplying from 10 to the power of 5. You should never forget this. Okay. Into V2 is equal to 0.04. So here is a mistake, that is 0.04 multiplied with 293. Make a correction here, this is not 0.004, this is 0.4 multiplied with 293. Again, don't add the value of temperature in degree centigrade, use Kelvin divided by P1 which is 1.5 to 10 to the power of 5 multiplied with the initial volume which is 0.1. Okay, now you calculate, you can solve this relation by using your calculator. You can solve these values, you will get 586 Kelvin. Please check the answer. Please check the answer, use your own calculator. So now we can convert this Kelvin into degrees. How? Yes, subtract 273, 586 minus 273, that is equal to 313 degree centigrade. So this is the answer for final temperature of the gas. Is that okay, students? Yes. So this is what the session number 11 is. So now let us meet on next session, which is session 12. Till then, goodbye. Thank you.